Okay, so next topic is ellipse. So ellipse looks like an oblong, right? So we have here, of course, the center of an ellipse. So the center of ellipse, this one, okay? And we also have a 4 latus rectum, okay? So this one, and this one. And we have two focus, okay? This one, and we have two vertexes. So we have here A, which is the distance of center to vertex, that is the semi-major axis. That's A. If you want to find the major axis, you have to times it by 2. So vertex to vertex, so that will be 2A, right? And then we have here from the here to here, the distance of that will be your B. And then if you will connect this one into the focus, the distance will also be A. Okay? So the distance to center to focus will be C. Okay? And then the distance from the center to the directrix is D. Center to directrix. So if you want to find the distance between two directrices, that will be 2D. Okay? So the major axis will always be the longer one, and the minor axis will be the shorter one. Okay? And their model equation will be now ax squared plus by squared. As I said earlier, the circle has the same coefficients with x squared and y squared. But now, the coefficient of x squared and y squared is different. Okay? They are not equal. Therefore, if they're equal, it is a circle. But if it's not equal, therefore it is an ellipse. Okay? So we have here ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus ab. So you can see it's already here that a and b must not be equal. If it's equal, therefore it is a circle. And we have here the standard form, which has a center from hk. So a will always be greater than b. Okay? So whichever has the denominator, greater denominator, it will be the major axis. So the major axis here will be horizontal, okay? Because it is with the A is with x. And then here the major axis will be vertical since A squared is with y. Next, it is just the same. So just remove h and k, and the center is at the origin. So again, the major axis is horizontal because A squared is with x, and then here the major axis is vertical because a squared is with y. Okay, so we got some properties here. So properties of an ellipse is eccentricity of an ellipse is always negative, less than 1. Okay, and to find the eccentricity, we have two eccentricity of the ellipse has two eccentricity. The first eccentricity is E equal to C over A, and then the second one will be E is equal to C over B. And then we also have a relationship of the ABC, which is A squared equal to B squared plus C squared. While the latus rectum, or the length of latus rectum, is 2B squared over A. The length of the directrix to the center is A over E, and the area of an ellipse is pi AB. While the perimeter of this is just an approximation, its perimeter is equal to the 2 pi square root of the A squared plus B squared all over 2. So we also have the focal radius, so all you have to do here is focal radius, that is you will have here a given point, which is usually x and y. So that's A plus or minus eccentricity times the given x. And then if you are looking for the maximum, therefore use positive, and if you're looking for the minimum, use negative. Okay? Okay, so with that, let's try to answer number 1. We can start here. Number 1, so we have a given ellipse which is 9x squared plus 16x, no, this is y squared minus 36x plus 32y minus 92 equal to 0. Okay? And then we'll just do the same thing with the circle. Okay? So group all the x first, minus 36 plus 16y squared plus 32y equal to 92. Okay? So this has a common, 9 and 36 has a common factor, so you can factor out 9. So you'll have your x squared minus 4x. Okay? Plus now 16. So y squared plus 2y equal to 92. Okay, so now we can apply now the completing the square. So that's negative 4 divided by 2 is 2, and square of that is plus 4. Plus now 16y squared plus 2y. So divide by 2, that's 1. Square is plus 1 equal to 92. And then, so we have to add plus 4 times 9. So that's 36, right? So plus 36. And then plus 1 times 16. And then that's 16. And then that will become 9 times. Uh, so factoring this one, we'll have x minus 2, right? X minus 2 squared plus 16 y plus 1. And this will become, let me use my calculator. So this is 92 plus 16 plus 36. That's 144. 144. And then divide everything by 144 because the left side must be equal to 1. You'll have here x minus 2. Usually what happens is this 9 will go down here, and then this 16 will go down here. That's usually, they just interchange their positions. So this is 16 plus y plus 1 squared all over and equal to 1 because we divided by everything by 144. Therefore, by comparison of the standard equation, you can have here that the center is at 2 and negative 1, right? And then this 16, that will be your a, right? A squared equal to 16. Therefore, a is equal to 4. And then b squared is equal to 9. And then b will be equal to 3. Let's see what we are asked to find. Location of the center, we already find the center. So this will be your answer. So what else? We are asked to find what? The length of its latera recta, which is, so we already have answer for A, which is C at 2 and negative 1. So for letter B, that's LR is equal to 2B squared over A, right? Let's try to go back to the formula, which is this one, latus rectum, which is 2B squared over A. So the answer here will be 2B squared is what? 9. And A is equal to 4. So this is 18 over 4 or 9 over 2 or 4.5. You can just have 9 over 2. Right? That's 18 over 4. So this is 9 over 2. So this will be your answer. This is also an answer. And then letter C, we're asked to find what? The first eccentricity. The formula for the eccentricity is E is equal to C over A. this one. That is the first eccentricity. If you are asked to find the second, this will be your formula. If you are asked to find just the eccentricity, just consider that the one that is asked is the first eccentricity. Okay? And also remember that a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared. So for c eccentricity, so e is equal to c over a, but we have to find first the value for c, or we can just, since we know that a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared, right? Therefore, we can know that c is equal to the square root of a squared minus b squared. So let's try to substitute that. So you'll have your square root of a squared minus b squared all over a. So this will be equal to square root of value of a squared is 16 minus 9, okay, all over a, which is 4. So this is square root of 7 over. So this will be your answer. Are there any more questions with this? Yeah, D is the distance between directrices. Okay. So the distance, remember that if you find D is equal to A over E, this is the distance from the center, okay, center to one directrix. So if you want to find you want to find the distances between the two directrices, all you have to do is just times this or multiply this by 2. Okay. So A, but we can change E actually because E is equal to C over A, right? So this is C over A. So rewriting this one, you'll have A squared over C. And then A squared, but C is equal to the square root of A squared minus B squared, right? So this will be equal to A squared is 16, and this will be square root of 16 minus 9. So this is 16 over square root of 7. And this will be your answer. Okay. For letter E, area, the area of perimeter. Oh, actually, that is a typo. That must be the area and the perimeter. Okay. So first, let's find the area. Area is pi AB. Pi AB. So this is just equal to pi times 4 times 3. So the area is 12 pi. And then for the perimeter, this is the perimeter of A is 2 pi square root of A squared plus B squared. So this is 2 pi square root of A squared plus B squared over 2. So this is 2 pi square root of A squared is 16, B squared is 9 all over. That's 25. This is 25 over 2. Square root of 25 is 5, right? So this will become 10 pi over 2 or 5. Okay? And okay, so let's move on to the next number. Actually, I have something wrong here because this should be square root, right? This is not 5 pi. So replacing that, that will become the numerator is 5, right? Because 20 square root of 25 is 5 times 2 pi, that's 10 pi. But the lower part should be square root of 2. So this is square root of, and this will be your final answer. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so let's try to answer the second one. So for the second number 2, so we have a hallway 10 meters wide has a semi-elliptical arc. Okay, so ceiling which is 9 meters high at the center from the floor, and if the walls are 6 meters tall at both ends of the ceiling, how high is the ceiling 2 meters horizontally from either wall? So we are said to have a 10-meter wide. Okay? So 10 meters wide. So I already draw the length. Okay, so this so it is 10 meters wide, right? So this must be 10 meters, right? So this is 10 meters. So from this one is 10 meters. That's 10 meters long. And then ceiling, which is 9 meters high at the center from the floor. So from the center, which is here to here, that's 9 meters, which is this one. Okay. So this is 9 meters. And the next one is if the walls are 6 meters tall at both ends of the ceiling, so the walls are 6 meters. So that is from this one. Okay. So these are 6 meters. Also, the other side is also 6 meters. And then, how high is the ceiling? 2 meters horizontally. Okay. So 2 meters from either wall. From either wall. So we are asked to find here. Let's say that this from here is 2 meters. So this is 2 meters. And then, of course, therefore, what happens here is from this point, you will have here a line. So from this one, you will have here a line. So what is asked is how high is from here to here. How long is that one? So let's call that h. Okay? So that will be the length of this one. And we have, of course, from here to here, there's already 6. And then let's just call this one h. Okay? And if I will complete this one, if I will make here a another line here, it's not, can't move it. Okay, I cannot move it. Just draw one again. Anyways, so therefore we can say that this point is, if I will say that this is the center, if this is the center, therefore I can also say if I will make a line here, therefore this is also the center, right? And then if this is the semi-elliptical arc, therefore this point will be your vertex. So from here, what is this point? This point will be, if this is 2, therefore this is 5, right? This is 5 meters. And therefore this is 3 meters. So from the vertex, or let's say that this will be your vertex 0, 0. So the coordinates of this one will be, x will be 3, right? And then, how high is that? That will be just h. Okay? Because this is your 0. So this will become 3h. Yeah, okay. So I will now isolate this part. Okay. Isolating that part, therefore you'll have here something like this. So this is the first one. Okay. And then an arc. I'll just draw it manually. Okay. So let's say that this is the arc, right? Okay. Therefore, this point, since this is already an ellipse, so we can say that if this is the point vertex, therefore this is 3, not h, you can replace it by y, right? You can replace it by y. And then we can also say that h is equal to, the capital H is just the h plus 6. So this is h plus 6. Okay. Okay. Therefore, if this is the vertex, therefore from here to here will be your A. Okay. And then from here to here, this will be your B. But we have to find the value for B, which is, what is the value for B? We already have the value for A, which is 5, right? Therefore, A is equal to 5. But what is the value of that? Since this is from, no, from here to here, that's 9 meters, and from here to here, that's 6 meters. Therefore, we can easily say that from here to here, this is 3 meters. Therefore, we can say that B is equal to 3 meters. Okay. Therefore, we are looking for Y, and this is your X. And then, if the ellipse has the vertex or the center, actually, this is a center, not the vertex. Sorry about that. This is the center. Center at 0, 0. The equation will be x squared, right? X squared over a squared plus y squared equal over b squared equal to 1. So if I will now substitute the values for that, you'll have x is equal to 3. So 3 squared over a squared will be 5 squared plus y squared is the one that we're looking for, and then b squared, where is b? B is 3, so 3 squared equal to 1. Okay, and then you will be able to find the value of y, which is also the h, is equal to 2.4. Okay, we are looking for h, right? Therefore, we can say that h is equal to 6 plus h, or equal to 8.4 meters. That's it. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so we have the next topic, which is the hyperbola. Okay, so I already have here a graph of the hyperbola. The hyperbola is the red line. Okay, this one, right? So this one and this one. Those that is a hyperbola. So you can see it still has two focuses and two vertices. Okay, one center of course, and then four latus rectum. Okay. So the distance, we also have here, which is the asymptote. Okay, that's the asymptote that we're the asymptote is the line that guides the hyperbola, but as you can see, this is the hyperbola and the asymptote will all just go longer and longer, but they will never meet. Okay? And what else? So we have here, I will zoom it a little. Okay? So this will be A and this will be B. And then C will be its hypotenuse. So you will have here a relationship something like this. So C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Okay, next. Okay, so we have here the formulas for hyperbola, which is the transverse axis, that's the V2, V vertex to vertex, so from here to here, that's 2A, right? And then the conjugate axis, or that B2, so from here to here, that's 2B, that's the conjugate axis. So the general form now is So you can see in ellipse, the coefficient of x squared and y squared are no longer equal, but it is positive. The y squared is positive, and now it will be now negative. So again, if it's equal, it will be a circle. So ax squared minus by squared plus 6x plus dy plus b equal to 0. So the standard form is just the same with the ellipse. The only difference is this is negative. Okay, this is negative. So we have the trans transverse axis, which is horizontal. Okay, and then we have here y minus k squared, which is the transverse axis, will be the vertical. So recalling the ellipse, the major axis, you can determine the major axis where the a squared will be. If the a squared is with dx, therefore the major axis is um, horizontal, and then if the a squared is with y, therefore the major axis is at the vertical. Okay, and but here what you will be looking for is whichever the positive, whichever the between x squared and y squared is a positive, that will be the transverse axis. So as you can see here, the positive is the x squared, right? But the y squared is negative. Therefore, the transverse axis will be at the horizontal. And if the y squared is the positive again and x squared will be negative, the transverse axis will be the vertical. So this is at the center 0, 0 or origin. So you just, the k and h will just be removed, but the principle is just the same. Okay, and now the properties. So of course, the eccentricity of the hyperbola is greater than 1. E is still the same, E is equal to C over A, but the C is slightly different. It will now be C squared equal to A squared plus B squared. Latus rectum and the D are still the same. Okay, so this is the, I think I forgot to say that this D is the directrix. So angle between asymptote, you can also find that is just the phi or theta, whatever angle is that, phi is equal to 2 arctan of b over a. And to locate the equation of asymptotes, all you have to do is to replace 1 in standard form by 0. Okay, so going back, this is the standard form, right? So you will replace now 1 with 0. Okay, so it will now become equal to 0, and then solve for y in terms of x. That's it. So you will be able to get two equations for that. Okay, so we'll be solving a problem regarding that. So note, the point of intersection between the asymptote, it is the center of the hyperbola. So you can see the intersection of the asymptote, again this is the asymptote, okay? The intersection of those will be the center. Okay? So you can just equate each other, the two asymptotes to each other, and then you'll find the equation of the center. That's also a trick that you can do. So with that, let's move on to some problems. Okay, so let's go to the some examples of hyperbola. Okay, so for number one, so we have given is a parabola of x squared minus 3y squared minus 4x plus 6y minus 2 equal to 0. So find the length of its latera recta. So again, we have to reduce this into its standard form. So again, so what will happen here is, so x squared minus 4x, right? And then um, minus, I will factor out the negative. So you will have your 3y squared minus 6y. Okay? And then the negative 2 will be transposed on the other side. So x squared minus 4x minus, you can factor out 3, right? So you'll have your y squared minus 2y equal to 2. Okay? And then let's do completing the square or CTS. So x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 3 times y squared minus 2y. So 2 divided, so plus 1, right? Plus 1. equal to 2. And then you'll have here, this is x minus 2 squared, and then this is minus 3. Actually, I forgot to add on the right side. So I still have to add here plus 4 and then um, minus 1 times negative 3, right? So minus 3. Okay, so you'll have here x minus 2 squared, and then minus 3 times this is y minus 1 squared, and this will become 3. So divide all by 3, so you'll have your negative 2 um, squared all over 3, and then minus y minus 1 squared, all equal to 1. Okay. So we can now compute for the latera recta. So with that, the a will be a will be 3. No, no, no. A squared, right? A squared will be 3. Therefore, a is equal to square root of 3. And then b squared is equal to 1. B equal to 1. And then we can also have that the center. Okay, center is at, by comparison, that will become 2 and 1. Okay, so this one and then this one. So you have to change the signs. And then what else? We have to find the latera recta. So latera recta is LR equal to 2b squared, right? 2b squared over a. So this is equal to 2 times 1. B squared is 1 and a is square root of 3. So this is just 2 over square root of 3. The next is b equal, what's b? Eccentricity. So e is still equal to c over a. Okay? But remember that c here is the c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, right? So here you can replace c by square root of a squared plus b squared all over a. So this is square root of a squared is 3 plus 1 all over a is square root of 3. So this is square root of 4, so this is 2 square root of 3. So this is the answer. This is also an answer. So letter C, the distance between directrices. So distance between directrices, that is D is equal to A over E, right? So A is equal, actually A and E is equal to C over A, right? So this is C over A. So this is A squared over C, or square root of A squared plus B squared, A squared. So this is A squared is 3, right? So 3 square root of 3 plus 1. So this is 3 over 2, right? That's 3 over 2, but you have to times that by 2. So that's between, so 2d equal to um, 2 times 3 over 2. So cancel out 2, so the answer is just 3. Okay. What else? Letter D is the angles between asymptotes, that is the arctan, right? 2 arctan b over a. So letter D is P is equal to 2 arctan B over A. So B is 1 and A is equal to 3. Let me see if I have a answer for that. That is 60. Oh no, it's B. It's A, so it must be square root. So this is 60 degrees. Yeah. And letter E, I think that's the equation of asymptotes, right? Equation of asymptotes. So for the equation of asymptotes, all you have to do is to rewrite the equation that we got, that is x minus 2. Okay. That is x minus 2 squared all over 3 minus, that is y minus 1. Y minus 1 squared equal to 1. And then This is letter E, right? This is letter E. So what we wanna do is we have to change 1 into 0 and then find the value for y in terms of x. So you'll have here x squared 3 minus y minus 1 squared equal to 0. So you will have here x minus 2 cube and then transpose y minus 1 squared. Therefore, that will become negative and then times 3. There you go. And then let's get the square root of both sides. You'll have x minus 2 equal to the square root of 3 times y minus 1. Okay? So you'll have here x minus 2 all over square root of 3, right? Equal to y minus 1. And then, actually, when we square root, you have to put here plus or minus, right? So you'll have here plus or minus here. And then transpose the 1, you'll have your y is just equal to x minus 2 plus or minus square root of 3 plus 1. So this will be the equations of the asymptotes. So I think that's it for the number 1, right? Okay, let's move on to now to the next number. Okay, so for number 2, we have locate the vertices of the hyperbola xy equal to 4. So that is actually a special case for hyperbola. So for number 2, you'll have here xy equal to 4. That is actually a rectangular hyperbola. So if I will graph that, this is what it actually looks like. So this is the Cartesian plane, and the parabola will look like something like this. So if this is the first parabola, and then this is the, so that is a parabola. So what will actually happen here is, okay, if you will consider this line, this is actually the line. This line actually passes through the origin. So that is 0, 0. And this line will also be the line that bisects the first and the third quadrant. Therefore, you can say that this line is x equal to y. Okay? So, if x is equal to y and xy is equal to 4, okay, so substitute that, though you'll have your x squared equal to 4. So, if you get that, you'll have x equal to positive or minus 2. Okay? Therefore, if that is x, y will be equal to positive and negative 2 also. Therefore, the vertices will be, partners will be, you have your positive and negative 2, so that will be 2, 2, and the other vertex is negative 2 and negative 2. So this will be your answer. Okay? So let's move on to the next topic. So for the next topic, we have general equation of the second degree conic section. So we have, of course, 4 conic sections. Second degree conic sections, we have circle, parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola. Of course, we will not be including the line because that is not a second degree. That is only a first degree conic section. So for the model equation, you'll have your ax. Let me zoom it so you guys can see it better. So you'll have your ax squared bxy plus cy squared plus dx ey plus f. Okay, so as you can see, the difference here now is you'll have an xy product, but we have conditions here. Okay, we have conditions. So the conditions are, you will have a test of b squared minus 4ac, that is called the discriminant. So for number 1, if b is equal to 0 and a is equal to c, that will be circle. If the discriminant is equal to 0, it will be a parabola. And if the discriminant is less than 0, ellipse, and the hyperbola if it's greater than 0. Okay. And then there's another topic is elimination of product xy. So if you want to eliminate the product xy, this product xy, there will be an angle of rotation which is tangent to theta equal to b over a minus c. Okay, and then we have a condition for that, which is the theta must be, or 2 theta must be 0 to 180 only, and if it's theta, all you have to do is just divide everything by 2, And then theta will be, the value of theta will be 0 between 0 to 90. Okay? It cannot be 90 because the tangent 90 will be equal to undefined. So relation for substitution, you'll have x is equal to u cosine theta minus v sine theta, and y will be equal to u sine theta plus v cosine theta after the rotation. So let's move on to, let's try some problems. So for number 1, we will have um, given the equation of 2x squared minus square root of 3xy plus y squared equal to 2. So by comparison, as you can see, your a will be equal to 2, b is equal to negative square root of 3, and your c will be 1. Okay, so let's try now to letter A, identify the curve. Therefore, we have to use the discriminant b squared minus 4ac, which is b is equal to negative square root of 3 squared, and then minus 4 times 2 times c is equal to 1. So this will become 3 minus 6, right? So this is negative, that's negative, not negative 6, it is negative 8. So this is negative 5. So it is less than 1 actually, less than 0 actually. So negative, so less than 0, it will be this one. So therefore, this is an ellipse. Okay. So for number 2, no, not number 2, sorry. Letter B. Letter B. To what angle should the axis rotated to eliminate the product term xy? So we have to use the angle of rotation. So angle of rotation is tangent to theta equal to b over a minus c. So this is 2 theta must be equal to arctan, right? Arctan of b over a minus c. So to get 2 theta, you'll have here arctan b. B is negative square root of 3. A is 2 and minus 1. So if you will get the answer here, so 2 theta is equal to negative 60. That is only the 2 theta. But as you can see, the condition here is the 2 theta must be 0 to, the value of 2 theta must be only equal to 0 to 180. So what you're going to do here is, you have to rotate this one, okay, or get the mirror of the value. So if this is a Cartesian plane, right? This is a Cartesian plane. So let's say that's negative 60, so that is must be on the fourth quadrant. So this is negative 60. If this is negative 60 or 60, not negative 60, this is 60. Therefore, I can also say that this is 60. Okay, and then of course this is 90. If this is 60, therefore this is 30. Okay, so if this is 30, this is 90. Therefore, the mirrored angle of the negative 60 will be this angle, which is 90 plus 120, right? Therefore, we can also say that the 2 theta will be equal to 120 degrees, and then theta now will be equal to 60 degrees. So this is the answer, 60 degrees. So you have to rotate the angle of rotation will be 60 degrees. So for letter C, find the equivalent of the equation of the curve without the product term xy. Okay, so you can just use the relation. Okay, I'll just write it down again. So for letter C, the relation will be um, x will be equal to u cosine theta minus b sine theta. But we all know that we were able to compute for the theta, which is 60. So this is u cosine 60 minus v sine 60. Or this will be equal to 1 half u minus square root of 3 over 2 v. So this will be your x. How about for y? So y will be u sine theta plus now plus v, no, not cosine 60. No, 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 theta first, theta. So substituting, so you'll have your u sine 60 plus v cosine 60. So, and then getting the value of sine 60 and cosine 60, you'll just have here square root of 3 over 2u plus 1 half v. Okay, so with that, all you have to do is, where's the equation? Substitute those values. This is y, right? Substitute these values to the original equation, which is 2x squared minus square root of negative 3xy plus y squared. Okay, equal to. Okay, so let's substitute the values. You'll have here 2 times x squared, so that will be 1 half u minus square root of 3 over 2 v squared minus square root of 3 times the value of xy, right? Xy. So x is 1 half u minus square root of 3 over 2 v. That is x. And then for the value of y is square root of 3 over 2 u plus 1 half v. And then plus now y squared. So this will become square root of 3 over 2 u plus 1 half v squared equal to. And then all you have to do is just do it algebraically, and then for sure that you won't have any xy term any longer. Okay, so I won't be doing this and this because this will be too long, so you can just do it algebraically on your own. But for sure you will end up with something like u squared, uv, and v. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic.